Okay. Ooh. Okay. Hi, my name is Lynette. I am here to talk about the abacus. And we're going to do a little review. And if you've never seen me, I've been teaching abacus for 20 plus years, and I'd like to share my knowledge. I also have worksheets available. Here we go. Just need to go live everywhere. Ooh, I didn't do that. No, I did. Okay. So what are we doing? We are going to, there we go. Let's see. I didn't do this. Edit. Edit. Paste. Sorry. Just trying to do some okay, good. Housekeeping. Gotta make sure I'm everywhere, all at once. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is I will do this. Thank you. Good. There we go. So the first thing we're gonna do is understand how to read the abacus. I have a couple of abacus available, and what we're gonna do is we're going to where are we? There we are. We're going to learn how to read the abacus. So this is an abacus. This abacus is a counting tool. Oh, I wonder if you can hear me. Okay, there we go. This is a counting tool. Because it's a counting tool, what we're going to do is we are going to understand how to read the abacus. This is my student's abacus, and if you notice, it's very easy to mess up your answer. So you have to make sure that you hold your abacus, because even the slightest bump, your even with the slightest bump, your answer will be mistaken. And then that's the other thing. Like I was reading a little bit where some people were complaining that this is really small. It's actually not. This is actually a standard size. Uh, if you look, this one is a 13 column abacus. Oh boy, this one is a 13 column abacus, and this one is about the same size. Like the height of it is about the same size, right? If we measure it like this, they're about the same size. And then the thickness, they're about the same size. And with the beads, they're all the same size. But if you notice, the beads have a ridge. Let's see if I can do that. Oh, yeah. So the beads have a ridge. And so when we're looking at the abacus and we're thinking about moving the beads, we're not going to be like down here and then moving the beads. What we're going to do is we're going to use the ridge, the edge of the bead, to move the abacus, to move the beads. Does that make sense? So when we're looking at it, we only want to use the top part of your fingers to move the abacus. I'm not sure if anybody talks about that, but I remember like there were some people that when they get the abacus, they're like, oh, it's so small, but it's not this part that makes it small. This is actually the same size as everything else. So here's my 23 column abacus that I've had for more than 20 years. And when I look at it, it's the same concept, right? We have the ridges. The ridges, I don't know if you can see that, but the ridges is what helps us move the beads. We're not going to put our whole finger down like this. We're not going to be like all like that, right? What we're going to do is we're going to just use the ridge, the edge of the bead to move the abacus, to move the beads. So we have one, and then if I use my proper finger, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. How do I know? Because the horizontal bar is what tracks the beads. So when we look at it, the horizontal bar tracks the beads. This is 4. And then when we look, the top bead will always be 5. Again, I'm only touching the ridge of the bead. So when we look, we have 6, and then 7, and then 8, and then 9. I hope that makes sense. So when we're looking at it, right, I noticed that coming from the top down, you can't see what I'm touching. But yeah, when I do it, I'm only touching the top part, the edges of the beads. So let's do that again. We're going to count one, and then instead of holding your head, hold the abacus because you don't want it to move. They're very easy to move. And also the other thing is hopefully your surface is flat and balanced, because with the slight, even if it was like this, like sorry, if it was on a slight angle, right, your answers may not be the same. Do you see that? Do you see how these abacus the beads moved because I was on an angle? Right. So it's very easy, and the beads are easily can easily move. But that's what makes it interesting, because you could do it really quickly. Well, you can add really quickly. But the first thing we're going to do is we are going to learn how to read the abacus. We're going to count the abacus. So we count one, two, three, four, and then we have five, six, seven. So notice I have seven, five, six, seven, seven, five, six, seven. Seven is together. One, five plus two is equal to seven. And then I have three. Three plus five is eight. And then if you notice, if I have four and then I add the five, now I have nine. When we look at it, well, how do I know that this is what the nine is? How do I know this is nine? If you notice, I have this thing. This is a dot indicator. This dot indicator tells me that this is the ones place. So what's going to happen is I've created a little, what do you call it? A little chart. When I line up my ones, let's see if I can make that better. There we go. So when I line up my ones, this is my ones indicator. I line up my ones. There we go. I have my ones, my tens, my hundreds, my thousands, and my 10,000s. This is how we read. So every column is a place value. My ones, my tens, hundreds, thousands, and 10,000. When we look, if I did this, this would be one. And then two, three, four, five. Because this is five, now we have six. And then look, if I have one and then I add the five, now we have six. I have two and I add the five, now we have seven. If I have three and I have five, now we have eight. And then we have four and then five and we have nine. And then finally, this is 10. I don't know if I talked about it, but this is 10. So this is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then we have 20. And then now we can count by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Okay, so then the next thing we're going to do is, oh yeah, that's right. We were going to go through the Common Core stuff. And I should make notes. That's what I should do. I should make notes of all the things we've done. So here, the Common Core. Oh, good morning, Alyssa. Welcome. Oh, let me review. So I wasn't sure if you knew, but I was looking at some stuff and noticed that some people were complaining on how the abacus is a little bit too small for their fingers. But really, the abacus is the standard size. And so when I was looking, what we do in the abacus world is what we want to do is we want to only touch the edge of the bead, if that makes sense. And when we move it, so we are not moving the bead from the column. We're going to use only the edge of the bead to move the abacus. So if you can pay attention to your son, it'll be that. So this is one, two, three, four. Does that make sense? I hope that translates. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this to the class to show how to move the beads. Because all I'm doing is I'm just using the edge of the beads to move it. Do you see how delicate it is? And then we have to make sure that they hold the abacus. So they have to hold the abacus because the abacus is very, very easy to mess up. When my brother is in the learning center and the kids are not holding the abacus, he'll come by and he'll walk around and he'll do this and mess up the kids' answers, and then they start getting all mad. Oh, I don't know. I gotta redo it. And he's like, no, you gotta hold the abacus. So when we're working with the numbers and stuff, you want to hold the abacus. So that's why that I don't know if anybody's noticed, but I try my best to hold it with my left hand and I use the calculations with my right hand. Yeah. Yeah, I realized nobody really talks about the technical side of it. And so if you and then these are the same size, so it actually doesn't matter. It's not the size, it's not the actual shape of the abacus, because this is the same size, and the width is the same, and then the way the beads are, it's exactly the same. So it's not that this is small. The only reason why this would be more is because there's more digits. That's all it is. This one has only seven columns, so I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I only have 5 columns that I can use, and then two decimals. Yeah. So let me know if you have any questions. Oh, what we were going to do is we did this. We're talking about the algebraic operations. Oh, and sorry, one more thing. So this is my 23 column one, but notice this is the standard. But notice it's slightly bigger, but it's actually not. And the beads are a little, and the beads on this one is a little bit smaller. Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. So that was the one thing about I guess that was the one thing that we always like. I always take for granted that people can see what I'm doing. Okay. So, do you have any questions? Or if not, I'm going to continue with understanding how to do Common Core with the abacus and how it relates to it. Or we could do more two-step equations. Oh, and I can show you a preview of the preview of the. I mean, if you're interested. Oh, wait. So there was the new book. So I created that book, but I'm about to publish my other two books, the minus five, right? The minus five, and I can show you a preview on that. And this one is available. So I have it where this is the Abacus framework, the addition and subtraction, where they talk about, and this is what you had out when you wrote it out. Well, this is subtraction, and then the backside is the addition. And is there enough beads? If there's enough beads, then you add the beads. If not, then you go to the next one. So is there enough? Show me the preview. Oh, okay, yeah, I'll show you the preview. Okay, and so then if there's not enough, then if there is enough, then you add the 5. If not enough, then you go to the tens, and then this is it, and that's everything about adding, subtracting. So that's what this is made. And then with this, it's called the Abacus framework. So there's a I need to I didn't let's see if I could share my screen. It is on my website. Oh, but I wanted to show you. Oh, I wanted to show you what it had. Oh, so if I had this, what I did is I added a little thing where you can block off the columns, and I added a little training video, and then it also includes, it includes a video, and then there's the directions how to cut it, and so it would be easy for you. Yeah. And that took a little bit. So there was that. Oh, and then there was the cumulative property. So the idea was to have the cumulative property, and then this is the reason why we have both of them, because we want to be able to utilize whatever we can. So there's the making of the 10, and then there's making of the 5. So that's the one. So then, so the preview, let me look that up. So here is, and I got to create I still have to create my, what do you call it? My book cover, but I'm almost done. Let's see. I need to share my screen. There we go. So here is the minus the 5. And what we're going to do is we're going to review, is it this one? Share this tab instead. So what we're going to do is we're going to review how to make a 5. This is the math facts of 5. And I tried to make it a little more visual again. And then here's what we're going to review. And then they color it in. And if you want to, you can cut it out. And that's later because uh, when you go to something like this, you can use it. It's up to you. Okay, so let's go back. So this is how so right now as you're seeing the answers, right? And so I want to make sure that everything has an answer. And then here is how many, and then this theme of the book is about plants in a pot, flowers in a pot. So with my flowers in a pot, we want to do is we have 5 flowers, and then every flower, right, is how we do it. So then there, draw a rectangle around the first flower, and again, it's just reviewing of how to make a 5. And then again, this is just other ways to how to make a 5. Now we get to the part where we go to the minus, and it looks very similar. However, we need to make sure that we have a -1 and -4. So when we do -1 and -4 is equal to -5. And then from here, because I wanted to show them how to change it. So then we start talking about the 5 petals. When there's one missing, what's the partner of one? So hopefully they remember that the partner of one is 4. So if there's one flower missing, then that means there's 4 petals left. And then we come into understanding how to change the different combinations. So we have 4 minus 1. -4 minus 1 is equal to minus the 5, or -1 minus 4 equals to -5. And then we have the reverse, right? Or not the reverse, but then we have the addition part where if it's minus the 5 is equal plus the 1 is equal to minus the 4. So this is what we're trying to do. And then this is how it works on the abacus. What we want to do is our I am so sorry. I don't even think you're seeing it. Hold on, hold please. Sorry, sorry, sorry. I want to do this. Is that it? No. Oh, I didn't add it. There we go. There we go. Sorry. That's what it is. So here's the book. The beginning of the book. This is the beginning of the book. We talk about the math facts of 5. And so we understand that this is 1 and 4 is equal to 5. And then 2 and 3 is equal to 5. Again, this is review because they should know this from the book before. Here we have, again, another review. So what we're doing is we're talking about the flowers in a pot. And again, this is more activities to get them to understand how to do it. This is the answers. This is the answer side of everything. I want to make sure that all the answers are being, they have all the answers. And then from here, here is where we talk about, understanding that we had the plus, now we do the minus. So minus the 1 minus the 4 is equal to minus the 5. So what we're doing is we're minusing, and what we're doing is we're going to take away the 5. When we take away the 5, here's the other concept. Like if I have one petal missing, what is the partner of 4? And hopefully they understand that this is the partner, right? And so this is the different combinations. -4 minus 1 is equal to -5, or -1 and -4 is equal to minus the 5. And then the other side of the combination, which -5 is plus the 1 minus the 4. And then here is instructions how to move the beads. So you'll notice that I have one bead on top and one bead at the bottom, and they move together at the same time. So we're good. Oh, this is incorrect. Let me change that. Nope, we got to do this. I must have undid something there. So here is the answer, and this is a sample question. So if I have 8 on my abacus, and then I need to take away the 4. I need to minus the 5 plus the 1, and that's what the formula is. And then after that, we do it again. So the question is whether or not they need to go to the flowers in the pot. If they do, then just circle the 1. If they don't, then don't circle it. But that's the idea, is to get them to critically think whether or not they need to go to the flowers in the pot. And then here is that they should write the formula. They need to write the formula because I want them to get used to understanding the formula. And here, this is all filled out. But the idea is that they're going to write the formula. They're going to use a paper clip to spin the number, and whatever the paper lands, You write it either the evens and the odds, and then you take away the 4, and then these are the answers. And when the paper clip is sitting on the spinner, color that pie piece, because then you know you don't need to use it again. So then after that, and then that's what it is. And then we have tic-tac-toe. Choose any one of these, and then place your marker, and then hopefully it'll be the two of you, right? And then here is color by number, which I haven't finished yet, but I will. And then we have it again for making of the 3. So if there's 2 petals missing, then my partner is 3. And it goes through step by step, like each number. And again, it talks about, how to move the beads. And again, see how this one doesn't have a circle, because I don't need to go to the pot. And then when we do it, we still have to write down the answer. We still have to write down the formula. And this is again the spinning of the wheel. When we keep going, and then after they finish understanding how to move each of the beads, right? And they go through, then I have it. Oh, okay. So this is a color by number. After the color by number, there's this petals. This petals is kind of cool. What it is you answer the petal, right? You figure out what the number is, and then you find the flower that it belongs to, and then you build the flower. So there's 4 flowers to build. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then all these petals belong to one of those 4 flowers. So this is going to be a cutout, and then after that, there will be hidden number or a hidden word. After the hidden word, there's going to be a number. What do you call it? Word problems, and after the word problems is the my regular maze. So write find the answer and then follow the maze, and then that's it. Those are the different combinations, and then there's a color by number again. Is that it? I think those are all the different variations I have for the -5. Yeah, so I have to redo my class. And then this is the answers for the sheet for the oh yeah, there's the answers. Yep. Yeah, you like it? Oh good. Good. Yeah. I have part of it. What I did is I expanded on it, and then I'm creating a book. So you have some of it already in the you already have some of it in the um you already have some of it in the class, but I didn't make the book. So now I have to make when I make the book, and then that's what this is. So then I'm going to redo the classes, and then it will flow better. It will flow better. I'm almost done with all of the videos for the -10. I'm sorry, the +10. So I have 47 videos, and I think I was able to upload 43 videos for the +10s, and it's the same thing. And you'll notice that it kind of works very similar to the thing with the in the class with the +5. Really, the +5 is done. I haven't gone back with it because I already did the +5, and I have the book. So what you saw the preview was a -5. Yeah, the preview was the -5. So the +5 is done. The -5 is what I'm doing right now. So then I can have the third book. So if you notice, I labeled it. There's book 1, level 1. Yeah. So the preview was a book 3, and then after that, after they finish the book 3, there's a book 4. This is book 4, which you have already, and then I'll be working on book 5, which would be the -10s. And then after the -10s, again, there'll be a lot of recording. So I'm going to, once I publish this book, then we can start going through. I'm going to just update the class that I have with the new pages that I have. So yeah, I realized that, yeah, and then I will have the rest of the stuff. So that's what I did. Yeah, it's been it's been good. Oh, and then there's this one which I created, which is an in between. If they're not understanding how to read the abacus, right? So this was more about how to read the abacus, and this is the 10 digit and the ones, the tens and the ones. So when we look, we would figure out how to do this. We did. I don't know if we did this, but yeah, we. And then if you wanted to, there is a maze cover, a mask maze, but because the paper is a little thin, if you wanted this to be down, if you wanted this copy, let me see if I can. Nope, that's not it. Um, there is a free download to have the mask maze, so you can actually use cardstock and print it out. Awesome, I look forward to it. Oh yeah, good. Yeah, I was pretty happy with this. It took a while to like figure out what for the -5, but I think now I have a format. Because when I did the +10s, so the +10s are very similar to that, and then I'm thinking that the -10s will be the same, and then obviously it'll be different questions, but they're all very curated. And then again, sorry, this is the Mask the Maze. And what this is it's to help cover the answers. So here is my question. My question is this number. So when we look at it, we have that number and then this. So we know that this is 52. Because this is 52, we can find the excuse me, we can find what? We can find our path. So we would just have to color it in. And I made this one single paged because I'm not sure what kind of uh I guess markers. If you use a marker, it might bleed through, and I didn't want it to bleed to the next page. So that's why it is single sided. So it's as if you were coloring. I put a laminate in front of it, so then you won't see the difference. But I do notice I got you. I made a copy of the column isolator on the cardstock. That's interesting. Yeah, the cardstock, it would help. I think you just have to crease it a little bit. Yeah, yeah, because I did make this one, or I made another one out of like random, what do you call it? Random things that I got. And I can't find it anymore. I must have thrown it away. But yeah. So again, if we do this one, we would just look at that, and then we would have 1 and then 7, right? So this would be 17. So then that would be 17. And so we would just color that in. Yeah. Oh, here it is. Yep. Yeah. Let me know how the column isolator, how it works for you. Sorry, I should keep doing this. I keep forgetting to do that. Let me know how it works for you. But I think the measurements are precise. So where is my there? Yeah, I think the measurements are pretty precise. I've been kind of playing around with it, but it was kind of nice uh, when I did it. And I think there's enough room, right? And you only need to look at two. You only need to look at two columns. So I was working on the 17 and used the framework, and I messed up and I went to the minus and it led me back to okay, let's do it. Let's do that one. Let me take it slow. Right, so I have my question is 17 minus 4. Aha, 17 minus 4. But this one, you should know, my gosh, right? I'm supposed to do, oh, okay, you know what? Here's a thing. Here's a thing. We did, yes. You're supposed to do the 5 minus the 5 formula instead. Yes. So when we look, we have 17 on the abacus. We have 1 and we have 7. So notice, yes, I know already that I can use the -10, the -5. Does that make sense? So I know. But see, even if I did minus the 10, okay, let's say we minus the 10, right? Okay, we minus the 10. Minus 4, let me do another color. we do minus the 4 is equal to minus the 10 plus the 6. So we have minus the 10, and then we add the 6, right? How do you add the 6? Well, now if we want to add the 6, there's not enough beads to add the 6. How do we add the 6? Well, we do. Add the 6 is plus the 10. Oh, yeah, that's not going to work. You have to minus the 4, minus the thing, and you go back. So minus the 6 or plus the 6 is what? Plus the 10 minus the 4. Minus the 4. You're still back again. That's funny. That's really funny. Um how do you take away the 6? Yeah. Yeah, you would have to go to the thing. So when we look at it, we have 17. Is there enough beads? Is there enough beads? No, there's not enough beads. So then the question is here, can you use the minus 5? That's what it is. Yeah, yeah. So the question is, can you use the minus 5? Yes, I can, because I can take away the 5. So what I can do is minus the 5 plus the 1. So my answer is 13. Yeah. The biggest question is if we do, it's the two step. So if it's 17 plus 7, plus 7 means that there's no formula for 7. When is another way? 8. 18? I'm trying to think of another number, like how to go through the process. So, mm, okay, got it. So here is another one. What if we did 13, right? We did 13 minus 4. This is the process that this would benefit. Here's the question: 13 minus 4. Is there enough beads to minus the 4? No. So I'm sorry, when you're doing a problem, you will know you did a mistake. Yeah. You still have to check it. I mean, you still need to check it, just like everything else. No. No. No? I'm not sure. When will you know when the mistake is? I think you won't know until it's afterwards, at the end. And when you check it, if that makes sense. Oh, sorry. I need to go like this. There we go. Um, when will you know? When you're doing a problem, you will not know you did a mistake. Yeah. Yeah, you won't know until the end. But that's just like in everyday math. Everyday math is like that. Yeah. So I realize I need to check it. Yes, that's the question. When you know you made a mistake. Yeah, when will you know? You won't know until until you get to the answer. It's just like regular math. That's how regular math is. Because you go through the process, and then that's why you go back to do it again to see where your mistake was, right? It's just like life, right? You don't know it's a mistake until you get to the end. Um, and was it really a mistake, or is it you learned something new, right? Yeah. I mean, even in mainstream math, that's the same thing. In mainstream math, we go through the process and then we check it again. That's why there's always the checks. So it's not like this is not that it helps to see how it helps to see where you made a mistake, but you won't know it until it happens to the thing. Yeah, that's what happens, and I learned what I did wrong. Right, exactly. And it's interesting to see, and that's the funny I didn't tell my kids until later on to go back. So if some of the questions are like super long, And if the answers are wrong, that's why we do corrections, right? That's why we go through it and we check to see if it's correct or not. And if it's correct, then we move forward. But it's better that it's not correct, because then they can go back and get it corrected. And when you go through school, I would highly recommend to always go back to review what you got wrong. And I hope that helps to understand. It's not just in math, like in anything that they're learning. So when they're learning science, they're learning government, they're learning English, always go back to what they got wrong, just so then we can get it corrected. And that's why I always hope that, even if they got it wrong, it's not that it's not like it's a bad thing. It's actually a better thing, because then you know that there are discrepancies in their understanding, right? If everything was correct, then you don't know if they really understand it or not. I don't know. Okay, yeah. Oh, so this question here. So we have 13 take away 4. So the question is there enough beads to take away the 4? No, there isn't. So when I look at it, my question is can I use the minus 5? Well, I want to minus the 5. I cannot minus the 5 when I want to take away the 4. So if I cannot minus the 5 to take away the 4, then no. What I have to do is I have to minus the 4 is equal to minus the 5, minus the 10 plus the 6. So now I'm going to minus the 10 and I can plus the 6. So this specific answer, right, will go through the process. Oh, I guess I should have done it the other way, because it's 13 take away 4. Did that make sense? So when I was going through it, I guess I should change this one to be 13 minus 4, and then you go through every line of the workflow. Yeah, I think. Yes, it did. Yeah, I and this is why it's helpful to have feedback, because then I can improve on it. So the 7 works makes sense, right? Because if you have enough, right? 7, I have 7, and then what? Or even 17 works well. But that's why, you know what? That's why we go through the different numbers. So if you notice, this one is actually in the it will be in the minus tens and the plus tens. So when I look at the plus 10, um, I have it here where we add the 3. Let's go back to 4. So we add the 4, right? We have the 4. We will know to check to see which number it is. And I give a an example of each of them. So what I did is plus the 1 is and plus 4. Do I need to go to the asteroid? No, I don't. So this is where we start to look at the difference, but we don't do it in the plus 5s. It is good practice to show the addition and when you're adding and subtracting. Is it good practice the addition and the subtraction on your additions and subtraction table? The addition and subtraction table was actually just a reference for the parents. Can you show it to the kids? I don't think the kids would understand, honestly. I made it for me. I made it for the adults, because we read it differently. I think for the kids, they just kind of know it internally. If that, um, so they just need to know the differences, and that's why the uh, the workflow the kids, when we talk about it, I think the kids will internalize it. But that's why we have the questions. Is there enough? Yes or no? Is there enough? Yes or no? So as long as I think that's how I was thinking. I don't know if they can see this as a workflow. I think that will happen later on when they get older. Yeah. Yeah, this is to help this framework is to help us guide the kids, but I don't think that they understand this. I think they just internalize it. Yeah. And then this is what adds to their critical thinking. You could show it and see if it works. I'm not saying it doesn't. I don't know. Um I just know that when I was teaching the kids young, see, I didn't make this for the children because they didn't have questions, right? I started making this when I this then this is really for me. I believe it is. I believe it is for you. So then you can guide your child, right? Cuz that's what I think. Yeah, I honestly think that because I didn't what am I trying to say? Of the 20 years that I've been teaching with the kids, they've never come back to be like, oh, how do we do this? Because we just go through the process over and over again. So I think what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to teach the parents to guide the kids. And I think that's what it is. So that's why I have like all of um these what do you call it? Study tools. So this one, like these little flippy things, that would be for the kids, right? Because then they can just do a fast reference. So this is for the kids. The isolator is for the kids, right? But I think this is more for teachers and parents to guide. So is your online class, is it better to do the lessons in order all the way through? I would recommend to do it in order. Um, I would recommend to do it in order because then it goes step by step each number. The reason why I did that is because that's how the abacus world is. The abacus world does every number and it focuses on the add-in. Whereas mainstream math, there's really no order and they just give you stuff, right? But in abacus, the way I have the books, the way I have the way I think, it goes in order. So then when you're done with learning the stuff, then you can go into um big questions. Like towards the end, the questions are all mixed up, if that makes sense. So because the questions are all mixed up, they've already seen the question, then they can be able to they can just do it. If right? So in the beginning part of the book is where they understand how to make a five, right? How to add a five. And then I have the sample questions, and then I have more sample questions to support it. And then after that, then they can go into changing it up, if that makes sense. Um, because then they've already experienced how to add from 1 to 4. I'm just trying to think like that's how I think. You can go up, you can change it any which way that you see fit, or you can go faster or slower. But that's why I try to break up the lessons so you can pick and choose. It is up to you if you want to go in order. That's how I think. I would like to have to go on in order. Yeah, if that makes sense. Edit. So, um, paste, save changes. Okay. My son has math facts in mainstream using the or should I have him practice it normally when okay, I'm sorry. My son has math facts in his mainstream math is using +5 formula right now. Yeah, or should I have him practice it normally and then when he gets to the +5 formula he'll get to it. I think when he gets to it. Right now your son is learning how to make a 5. And so it's fine to how to make a 5. But then as they as he goes through, I would still recommend him going through the, if he could do abacus at the same time. Because what happens is once he learns how to, what is the reason why I'm thinking about it is because they're just teaching you how to add the five, but then there's really no structure like how to make an eight, right? Because they're focused on the result and not the actual add-in. Whereas in abacus, and so this is where there's a little bit of discrepancy. So remember, and there's the beginning, we were talking about how to like, was it? They're going to be like, oh, you can make right, 3 plus 5, right? You could do that, and then you get an eight. So they're going to be like, well, there's many ways to make an eight, and this is where we get a little bit. This is where we get a little bit of structure in abacus, because this right here is a simple, right? So I would still keep them on the trajectory of introducing the plus five in abacus. So you're kind of go in parallel a little bit, but it will still, but towards the end, it will start to come together again. So we're going into two separate ways because abacus is very structured, whereas mainstream math is kind of like, mainstream math is kind of like all over the place, if that makes sense. They're just going to keep giving you things, whereas I think abacus is really more structured. So they're going to separate a little bit in the beginning, but then they're going to come back. But the problem, the not the problem, but the thing is in abacus we need to lay the groundwork first, and then as they go through, then they'll start to connect. But we have to lay the groundwork in abacus. Oh, sorry. Cancel. So I didn't make sense. He hasn't learned the five formula. He's doing the addition, but I will continue him to do when he understands fully. The addition math facts, I would have him start going through the abacus. So anytime that you can use the abacus, I would use it, if that makes sense. Because if you don't keep up with abacus, then when he starts to do other things, it's going to um so what are some of the questions, unless you want to email me his homework, we can talk about it, right? So some of the questions, because the questions that are given, there's no rhyme or reason. They just do it like what because I'm assuming that they just give them this, right? One, and they just give them a whole bunch of things, right? Whereas in abacus it's very specific, right? He will fall behind. Yes, I can email his homework. He will fall behind. He will not fall behind. He will just learn a little bit more. He will just learn a little bit more to get to where he needs, if that makes sense. But yeah, email me his homework and I can tell you, because the homework, they kind of just throw spaghetti at the wall, really. And so what happens is they're just going to give you a bunch of stuff, but in abacus it's, if we can push him through, getting him to do the plus five first, and then get him to do this. So then when he gets this to do the tens, then um it doesn't really matter what they give him, right? Because then you can start doing double digits and then it doesn't matter because he will know his foundation. So I think the biggest thing is to get him to go through the fives, the minus fives, the tens, and the minus tens, and then he'll be okay. It doesn't matter what happens. Yeah, because I think in grade one or grade two, they start doing double digits, but 12 plus 12 is nothing for us, right? We don't need to we don't need to understand we don't need to do anything special, right? Because we have 12, right? Then my question is can I add another one and a two? Yes, I can. One and two. So it's different. Our paths are a little bit different when it comes to comparing elementary school and what the school is. The reason why is because we have we have enough beads, so there's nothing more for us to learn. However, if I have 12 plus 14, right? 12 plus 14, because I have the 4, what am I going to do? I have 12, right? And I know I'm going to have the 4, the 1 and the 4. The 4 is what? Plus the 5 minus the 1. He's in second grade and they're supposed to do regrouping. So if they're regrouping, then that's where the plus 10 works in. So the plus 10 is all about grouping and regrouping. And that's what I would try to do is I would try to have him understand. Thank you for reminding me. That's where we do the plus 10s. So the grouping and regrouping. So if you have a question, let's take a look at so that's the other problem, right? If they have, let's say we did this, there's no regrouping here, but there would be if it was 13 plus 8, right? There's a regrouping on that. What is the regrouping? Regrouping is plus the 10 minus the 2. This 10 is the regrouping. So if I have the question, I have 13 and I want to add the 8. To add the 8, this is the plus 10 minus the 2. If I want to add the 8, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, yep, it is. So when I have the 10, I don't, the biggest thing is the question, again, the question is, do I have enough? I don't have enough. What I need to do, I need to plus the 10 and then minus the 2. This is the regrouping. And then there's the opposite, right? So if I had 21 minus 8, right? 21. So again, if I have 20, I have 1. But in Abacus, we solidified this information. We know all we have to do is minus the 10 plus the 2, which is the opposite of plus the 10 minus the 2. So what we're doing is we are solidifying the concept of 8 and 2 are partners. So when we're trying to minus the 10, is there enough to minus the 8? No, there isn't. There's only one bead to minus the 8. So what are we going to do? We need to minus the 10. So we take away the 10. When we look, notice that minus the 10 is 0 and 1. That's what 10 means, right? When we're counting, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. If you notice, that's what 10 is. 0, 1. So if my question is 21, minus the 10 is 0, 1. Minus the 1, and then minus the 0. Minus the 1, and then what do we do? We have to plus the 2. So we plus the 2. So my final answer is 13. So what did we do there? We did borrowing. But again, he should know his plus 5s. He needs to know his plus 5s and plus 10s because when you get to the two-step equation is when you start getting into situations. So that would be really interesting if I could see his homework and I can tell you how I would structure it. Um, yeah, because what would I do? I, you know, no, what is the problem? The problem is you're given all these questions, but because there's no abacus in mind, yeah. Thank you. I would appreciate that. Yeah. Because there's no abacus in mind, I can't, I can't, I can't just give you a bunch of questions. You know what I mean? Because in abacus, it's very specific, obviously. Um, so yeah, if you give me the questions, I can show you which ones, I can show you which ones are being used. Yeah. Yeah, that would be a good one. That would be a good exercise. Do you know the publisher of the book that they're using, or what? Yeah, what books? What what not abacus? What math book is he using? Excuse me. And then I can go through. But yeah, that's the one thing. I wouldn't stop the abacus because you gotta lay the foundation, and so you're gonna go out for a little bit. We started. We have not started the regrouping. He's doing simple double digit. We're doing math with confidence in grade two. I've not heard of that before. Double digit, simple double digit, but not with the abacus. I'm not sure what simple double digit means in mainstream math. That would be the question. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would be the question for me. Like, I don't know what simple for them. What does it mean by simple? Doing math with confidence, grade two. Okay, I'll have to take a look at that. Let's see if I can find something with it. Like 23 plus. See that? See, in abacus, that's not simple. You know what I mean? Because look, yeah, yeah, I understand. So we have the question 23. So let's break it down, right? 23 plus 29, right? We have 23. See, that's not simple. See, that's what I'm saying. In abacus, it's not simple because we have the two and then four. We're going to add the two, right? Now we have the nine. Again, what are we doing? This is the two-step equation. How do I know? Because when I add the nine, it's plus the nine is equal to plus the 10 minus the one. Now, oh, okay. Oh, okay. So yeah, that is simple because it's 23 and then 21. Then yes, I could see that because it's what? 2 and then 21 plus 2 plus 1. Yeah, I could see that. So I guess I wonder if it is abacus driven, then he should be able to follow along pretty easy. Um yeah. But this one's a good one. This one's a two-step. We could talk about the two-step. So we have the 2, we finished the 2, right? We add the 9. When we add the 9, we need to plus the 10. So we're plussing the 10. We're here. We want to plus the 9. Please let me send you what we're working on. Please do step 2. Okay. Let me go to my web. Let me go to my This is fantastic. I do appreciate this. Hub. Let me go to my email. Oops. Let me see. Where is Whoa, no. Escape. I haven't sent it yet. It's gonna take. Oh, I see. Sorry. Yes. You know what? Yeah, I'll be on the lookout for it and let me know. We could talk about it. We can talk about it next time we meet. Yeah, not a problem. Or you know what? What I could do is I could send you a post. Um, I could send a post, or I can explain it. So yeah, yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Yeah, it is 10 o'clock. I do. Hello, Aiden. Um, I do want to respect your time. It is 10 o'clock. So let me know. I will be on the lookout for the email to see what they've done, and then circle it all, and then we'll go through it. Yeah. No, this is fantastic. I do appreciate you taking the time to come on, and then we talk about it. Because I do want to, here's my plan. My plan is to make Abacus more aligned to the grades. And so what I was thinking, because like, okay, before you go, here is my ultimate plan. When I started, I was just going to provide an Abacus curriculum. As I started talking to more people, I realized I need to make an Abacus curriculum that is specific to the grade. So what you're doing is you're really helping me make it more grade specific, if that makes sense. And so if I can make it grade specific, then I think it would be easier to bring Abacus into the mainstream school. So all this time for the past 20 plus years, and even in the world of Abacus, it's always been our own curriculum. So I think what I need to do is I need to make it more grade specific for the mainstream. So that's why I'm really very, I appreciate all the information that you're providing and all the conversations that we have, because it makes a lot of sense to me to make it more grade specific. Because I don't want your son to be falling behind when he learns Abacus. I just want to make sure that I get everything that I need to be grade specific. Yeah. I know there's a delay as well. But that my ultimate goal is to be grade specific Abacus for mainstream math. Yeah. That is so helpful. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't want it to be I don't want it to be a way. I don't want it I wanted Abacus to align with the mainstream math, and that is what I'm trying to do. Yeah. I will be more detailed in the main. Okay, good. Okay, good. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. It's yeah. And thank you again for coming on board. Uh, thank you again. I do appreciate everything that all the feedback that you provide. I take it and I really understand it. But thank you. No, thank you. I'm very happy that you're a part of that. You're a part of my life because it does help me. Thank you so much. Have a good day, and I'll look forward to the email. Have a good day, and I will see you. I'll see you in my next live. Um, yeah, that's very cool. Okay, I'm gonna sign off.